I'm sure by now you have heard about Trump's incendiary remark about renaming the Persian Gulf. You might already know that this move has infuriated Iranians, and according to one New York Times article, it has done the impossible. It has united the Iranians, which are usually divided. In this video, we are going to read an article about this topic, and we will learn a lot of great and useful words. So stay tuned. Let's get right into it. All right, so let's read the article together. Can Trump rename the Persian Gulf? So this is the question that we're going to answer today. Hopefully. So it says his suggestion to call the body of water the Arabian Gulf has apparently done the impossible. Unite Iranians. What if this body of water, it's a gulf, an ocean, a sea, yeah? It's called the body of water. And it has apparently, yeah? We don't know the facts, okay? This is like seemingly. We don't know yet, but it has apparently done the impossible. What is the impossible? Unite Iranians. Okay, let's read it. President Trump has floated changing the name of the Persian Gulf to the Arabian Gulf ahead of a trip to the Middle East next week, a move that infuriated Iran and its people. Okay, so there are very good words here. Let's have a look at them. The first one is floated. So Mr. Trump has floated changing. So he has floated an idea. All right. And to float means to suggest a plan or an idea to be considered. So he has suggested it. For example, Laura has floated the idea that we should think about expanding into Europe next year. So somebody floats an idea so that others consider it, so that you look further into it. So you just raise it. Okay. And so when has he done this? Ahead of a trip to the Middle East. You know that he's going to the Middle East, and he has done this ahead of a trip, before he's going on that trip. And this floating, this suggestion, can be called a move. So this is a move. Yeah? A move that infuriated Iran and its people. What does it mean to infuriate? You might already know the word furious. I am furious. Yeah? Angry. And infuriate is a verb, which means to make someone extremely angry. Mr. Trump's suggestion has infuriated Iranians. Moving on. This is Mr. Trump saying, I'll have to make a decision. Oh, no, I'm not good at impersonating. I'll have to make a decision, Mr. Trump said in the Oval Office on Wednesday. So this is his quote. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't know if feelings are going to be hurt. So I think this is obvious. He doesn't want to hurt anybody's feeling. He doesn't want to infuriate people. He doesn't want to make people angry. Okay? So hurting somebody's feelings means that you actually make them angry or sad, depending on the context. And here is a map by New York Times, which shows the body of water, the Persian Gulf, and the surrounding countries. These are the countries surrounding Persian Gulf. Moving on, this past week, the Associated Press reported that Mr. Trump planned to announce the remaining of his tour of several Arab countries, which have been lobbying for the change for years. Yeah, and so Mr. Trump announced it. He told everybody, okay? The renaming, he announced that this renaming that we already talked about on his tour of, so he's going to make a tour of several Arab countries, which means that he's going to I don't know, first he's going to Dubai, then he may go to the Saudi Arabia, Qatar, all these countries. So this is a tour. And these countries, so this which goes back to the countries which have been lobbying for the change for years. They have been lobbying to do this. What does it mean to lobby? Let's have a look at it. Lobbying means the activity of trying to persuade someone in authority. So it's not just political. Usually an elected member of a government to support laws or rules that give your organization or industry an advantage. So this is lobbying. There was intense lobbying against the measures by drug companies. So, for example, they wanted to pass a law, they wanted to take some measures, but the drug companies didn't like it. So they started lobbying. They started to persuade some member of the government to support the law or to speak out against it. Okay, so this is lobbying for you. The turquoise blue water has been called the Persian Gulf since at least 550 BC. It has been called Persian Gulf for a very long time. And this water is described as turquoise, which is a beautiful blue color. In Persian, they call it firuzei. This is a beautiful color. When the Persian dynasty or dynasty, so a dynasty is like a family of rulers, yeah, like the Mughal dynasty, and I don't know, maybe I can't think of other dynasties, but Iran has seen a lot of these dynasties throughout the ages. So Cyrus the Great ruled an empire that spanned from India to the edges of the Western Europe. So very vast empire. Spanned, it means it went from India to the edges of Western Europe. So what is spanning? Span means to extend across or stretch from one point to another. So instead of saying go, okay, just say span. It's a good word. It is also used for a time, like for example, it spanned 2 centuries. So it's not just for space, it is also used for time. So this is the word span. Ancient Persia is now modern day Iran, which means that this ancient Persia is now called Iran. Okay? And its entire southern coast stretches along the Persian Gulf. Its entire southern, interesting word. Because we say south, but then when it becomes this word, the pronunciation changes to southern coast, and this coast stretches along the Persian Gulf. What does stretch mean? Let's have a look at it. So to stretch means to spread over a large area or distance, like the road stretched into the distance as far as the eye could see. Again, here, instead of saying the word go, like for example, the word went across the distance, say just the road or the coast stretched. Yeah, we have also stretching. Like in order to become flexible, you do stretches, like in yoga, and the meaning is not very far from that. Iran's governments, going back to the pre-revolution era of the Shah, Shah means the king, have stoutly defended Persian Gulf as the only legitimate name. They have not only defended it, they have stoutly defended it. Okay? What does stout mean, or stoutly? So stoutly means in a firm or determined way. They have stoutly denied the recent rumors that are, they have stoutly denied the recent rumors that there are problems with their marriage. So when somebody said, oh, do you have a problem in your marriage? You say, no, that's a lie. So here they are stoutly denying something. So have Iranians inside and outside the country. This is a nice structure. So have Iranians, which means that Iranians have also stoutly defended. But in order to avoid repetition, it says so have Iranians. And Iranians have also done that inside and outside the country, who view the name as a core part of their national and cultural identity. So they look at this name. It's not just a name for them. By suggesting the name change, Mr. Trump has seemingly done the impossible. He has apparently, again, this word, which means that according to the facts that you know, yeah, that's as far as I know, as far as I'm concerned. So it doesn't mean that I will swear by this. It's seemingly. Maybe I could be proved otherwise. Like, for example, seemingly according to the facts that you know, the factory closure is seemingly inevitable. This sentence means that the factory, excuse me, this means that the factory will close down. That is inevitable. It cannot be prevented. There is nothing that can be done about it. This is also a very useful word, inevitable. So Mr. Trump has done the impossible, unite Iranians of all political, ideological, and religious factions. If you know anything about Iran, you know that there are all sorts of factions, political, ideological, or ideological religious. Factions mean groups. And all these groups, they have spoken out, they have spoken out in statements and social media posts condemning Mr. Trump's idea. They have spoken out. What does spoken out mean? So spoken out means to give your opinion about something in public, especially on a subject that you have strong feelings about. If no one has the courage to speak out against the system, things will never improve. So to speak out against something means that you make your opinion heard when you are not happy about something. And there is a very good example in there. And they have condemned Mr. Trump. Condemn. Condemning means to criticize something or someone strongly, usually for moral reasons, which applies here. Moving on. Can Trump really rename the Gulf? Can he? Mr. Trump has the power to order changes to geographical names as they are used in the United States, but other countries do not have to honor those changes. So that means that the other countries are not forced to follow suit. They don't have to do it. They don't have to honor it. Yeah, to honor something means to accept it. Here it means to accept it. So his power is limited to his own countries. This year, he issued an executive order to update the government's geographical names information system in order to change all references to the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. So seemingly, he likes changing the name of gulfs. He changed the name of the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America, and now he wants to rename the Persian Gulf. Okay, and so he issued an executive order. Okay, so this is a good collocation for the word order, issue, and order. So issue is a verb here. It doesn't mean problem. Executive order. This is important. An executive order is an official instruction given by the US president about the way the US federal, which means national government, should operate, or by a US state governor about the way the state government should operate. Okay, so this is an official instruction, and Mr. Trump is very good at issuing these executive orders. So let's find out what happened after they changed the name the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. On Friday, President Claudia Sheinbaum said the Mexican government had sued Google over its decision to abide by Mr. Trump's order. So Mexican government sued Google. It sued him. Which means that to take legal action against a person or organization, especially by making a legal claim for money because of some harm they have caused you. So you take legal action, you file a complaint. And why did they sue Google? Because Google decided to abide by Mr. Trump's order. They didn't have to do it, but they did anyway. They abided, they complied with it. To accept or obey an agreement, decision, or rule. How have Iranians reacted? Mr. Trump's idea drew condemnation from a broad cross-section of Iranians who are often divided on many topics. So it drew condemnation, okay? People condemned it. We already talked about the word condemn, okay? It means to severely criticize for moral reasons. Who is this who? Iranians who are often divided on many topics. They are divided, which means that they are split into two or more opposing groups who cannot agree. More than ever, we seem to be a divided nation. A divided nation. And you know, there is also a saying, which means that divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Divide people into different groups and conquer them, which means that win or dominate them. Okay? So, and that's true. Iranians are really divided. It goes beyond politics. It goes beyond religious division. So the word division is related to this divide. It's a name. And ideology. So it means it is not limited to this. It goes beyond this. Okay? It's about the nation and its history. And it has hit a chord. It has hit a chord, or it has struck a chord. To hit a chord, it means that it has resonated with people. Yeah, they have reacted to it. Said the historian Touraj Daryai, director for the Center for Persian Studies at the University of California, Irvine. Does Trump want to negotiate with Iran, or does he want to take away its national identity? So, as you know, the negotiations are going on. And today that I'm recording this, they have already done the fourth round of their negotiations. So they are negotiating. Mr. Daryai said that since ancient times, Iranians have referred to their nation as Ab و Khak, which means water and earth. And Ab means water in Persian, and Khak means earth. Two bodies of water, the Persian Gulf in the south and the Caspian Sea to the north. You see, to the north. To the north. It can also say in the north. Are deeply intertwined in the Iranian psyche as symbols of nation. They are intertwined. Yeah, they are intertwined in the Iranian psyche, in the Iranian mind or worldview. They consider them their symbols of their nation. Ahmad Zaidabadi, a prominent analyst in Tehran, posted on X. Prominent means important, an important figure. Just because of Trump's wishes and whims, the Gulf of Mexico will not become the Gulf of America. Just because of Trump's wishes and whims. What is a whim? A whim is a sudden wish or idea, especially one that cannot be reasonably explained. We booked the trip on a whim. So this suggests that Trump does not think about what he says. He just says these things on a whim, which I don't agree with, but that's his opinion. They seem like they are whims, but I think they are very well thought of. The Gulf of Mexico will not become the Gulf of America. Canada will not join the United States. Greenland will not become a possession of the United States. And the Persian Gulf will not take on a fake name. So he refers to Arabian Gulf as a fake name. okay, rather than a legitimate one. So the word fake is the opposite of legitimate. Iran's national soccer team weighed in with a map of the Persian Gulf and a trending hashtag Forever Persian Gulf on its official Instagram page. So this team weighed in. They weighed in. What does it mean, weigh in? To become involved in an argument or discussion in a forceful way. So they became involved. Yeah, they make their presence felt. They made their ideas heard. They weighed in. Even Iranian opposition figures expressed their displeasure. They said, "We're not happy with this man, Reza Pahlavi, son of the deposed Shah of Iran." You know that Iranians in 1979, I guess, deposed Shah, and that put an end to the last dynasty in Iran. Okay, so that the Iranians deposed Shah, they overthrew him, and this Mr. Pahlavi supports Mr. Trump and encouraged him to abandon diplomacy with the government in Tehran. That's what he said on social media. President Trump's reported decision to distort history. So he regards this as distorting history, changing the facts. If you distort something, you change its appearance or the facts. If true, is an insult to the Iranian people and our great civilization. So an insult is an offense. Like people will be offended by this. Okay. Okay, let's look into the history of the Persian Gulf. What's the history of the Persian Gulf? The Persian Gulf has been used throughout history. Excuse me, the Persian Gulf name has been used throughout history in maps, documents, and diplomacy from the time of the ancient Persian, whose empire dominated the region, to the Greeks and the British. So they had, again, a vast empire. It dominated that region. So yeah, that's the history. And here there is a map from 1763, 1763 map of the Persian Gulf by the French cartographer, which says Golfe de Perse, which means that Persian Gulf in French. So this is one document, but the article claims that this name is even more ancient than this. The push to call it the Arabian Gulf gathered steam during the Pan-Arabian nationalist movement of the late 1950s. So this push, actually it's not a push like the opposite of pull, yeah? But it is close to that meaning, the push, like the effort, they tried to do it, so this is a push. Gathered steam, it means it gained power. Gathered steam. So if something gathers steam, this steam, wants to release, and it can move something else. Like, for example, this is how steam trains used to work, because it generates power. So if something gathers, like collects steam, that means that it became known. It became accepted. The United Nations uses the term the Persian Gulf. A 2006 paper by a UN working group found unanimity in historical documents on the term. They found unanimity, which means that they explored, they looked into historical documents, and they found out that all documents, with no exception, used Persian Gulf. So this is unanimity. Every document used the name Persian Gulf, which it said was coined by the Persian king Dariush in the 5th century. It was coined. Yeah, coined, the coin, like small piece of money. And when something is coined, it means that it is introduced. And this name was introduced by Dariush. All right, let's find out if this will affect the nuclear talks. Iran and the United States have held 3 rounds of negotiations. But yesterday they did another, so mediated by Oman. So they're not doing it directly. I mean, they are doing it directly, but there is a mediator. Oman is mediating it. Oman is brokering it. It's a good word, broker or mediating something. What are they talking about? On Iran's advancing nuclear program. This nuclear program is advancing. It is making progress. And they are scheduled to meet again on Sunday. They are scheduled. Yeah, they have planned to meet again. The United States wants to prevent Iran from weaponizing its nuclear program. So here's the deal. The United States doesn't want Iran to weaponize, to make weapon. Weaponizing means making weapon. And this is how you use the word prevent. Prevent somebody or something from doing something. You see, the weaponizing has ing. From weaponizing its nuclear program, and Iran wants to remove sanctions. Want to remove sanctions that have hobbled its economy. Hobbled. It has like hurt its economy. It has kind of destroyed its economy. Sayyid Hossein Mousavian, a former Iranian senior diplomat and member of the country's nuclear negotiating team in 2015, said, if Mr. Trump renamed the Persian Gulf, it would deliver a blow to the negotiations. To deliver a blow means to hurt something seriously. It will deliver a blow. Yeah? It will result in a setback in the negotiations. It will just create mistrust and embolden the hardliners in Iran who say, you can't trust the America, Mr. Mousavian said in an interview. Yeah, the hardliners in Iran, I mean, you can't blame them, say that you can't trust America because they have went back on their words a dozen times. So, and I mean, politics is not about trust. So anyway, so this will create mistrust, which is the opposite of trust, and embolden. You know the word bold, yeah? Bold. Like if you have the courage to do something, and this will embolden them. This will encourage them. This will reinforce their worldview, their perspective. Okay, so that's the article. Thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope you found it useful, and if you want to practice the words that we studied in this video, you can join my Telegram channel. There you can download the flashcards, a set of flashcards, a deck of flashcards, so that you can review these words and you will not forget them. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.